Hello. Hi, everyone. Going ahead and take your time coming into the room today. It's Monday. I understand people have got things to do. I had every intention on putting on full face, and it didn't happen. I sat down and I started to watch things and eat, and before I knew it, it was now time to get the party started. Okay, 11 people in the room. Hi guys, can you please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up? As always, we're gonna wait for the room to get to about 100 people, then we're gonna get started. So take your time, grab a drink. If you guys are hashtag replay game, please check down below to see what time the actual, actual video starts. Hit my funny bone. So, hi Desria, how are you? All right, I'm gonna put you guys on mute. Just come on in the room. Remember that song I used to sing? What was it? Let's look for the words. What is that song? I used to sing a whole song. It's 6 p.m. in the evening. It's time to talk 90 Day. So go ahead. Hashtag replay game. Hi, Brenda B. Hi, Stacey Thomas. All right, putting myself on mute. Come on into the room. Explain to the folks that we'll get started at 100. Hi, Ramsterdam. Hi, Four Jordans. This is silent makeup tutorial with no mirror. I don't have a mirror. Okay, so we're just going to use this as a mirror, except for it's hard because it's backwards. Ooh, child. Ooh, it's so hard because it's backwards. I can't really tell what I'm doing. Ooh. Oh, it's hilarious. Okay, BRB. I'm gonna go get a mirror. And I'm gonna get my head wrapped. You know what I'm saying? This is in this in-between time. I'm letting my hair grow out so I can get braids. Okay, BRB. Nola Rola, Yazelle, Caitlin, Renee, hi. Lynn J, Charlie Coconut, Doris, Melody. Oh my God, there's 54 people in the room. You guys don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I have a limited time before there's 100 and I have to get started. I'll be back. 86 people in the room. Hello, Mickey. Welcome to the room. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to go through and see who everybody is that came in just now. But I appreciate you showing up. Oh, yeah, I'm put a head wrap on. What am I missing? Also, I thought I had a lippy, but I don't. So. Okay, doesn't she look more presentable, more put together? Alrighty, we've got 107 people in this room, and I hope that we've got some likes. Jan's favorite teacher, Donna Carr, AK, Sarka, Mickey, Thessa, Donna, Carla, April T. Hi, everybody. Tawiti, Z3 in Kin, Roshni, Miriam's in the house, Becky. Okay, Kara. All right, guys, all the usual suspects. I appreciate you guys coming in. All right, let me get us queued up. Let's get this going. I'm not going to be able to offer anybody to come into the room this day because, as you can see, I'm not at home. I am at Chris's house. She's coming back. Then we've got to do our podcast. So I don't have the tiempo. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate those of you, especially those of you who reached out to me last week asking to be in it. And I do apologize. I know I said I would be able to do it this way, but I'm a liar. Stone cold Steve Austin liar, and I apologize for that. All right, so if you guys want to give your girl a tip, you can do so, but I'm going to give you all that information and a little bit more information once we get started, which is in 5. Oh no, let's wait till we get to a full 15 minutes. Woosah, woosy sasas. Y'all, watching Temperature talk to Emily about a man's place gave me mucho anxiety. Okay, here we go. 2, 1. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé. My name is Wah. If you're new to here, I do recaps of relationship reality TV such as 90 Day Fiancé, Married at First Sight, Love After Lockup, etc. If you are at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe down below. I think it's on this side. Go on ahead and subscribe down below. If you want to share this content on any social media platform, please do it. Do it. Live your life. Share me out to the world. Let people know about moi. If you're at all interested in giving your girl a tip, you'll see these across the screen down here, where are your options. And if you are a international baddie, you can do so with the thank you button. That were my little heartsies. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And I do have an announcement in case you've been under a rock or you really don't follow me outside of this. My good friend, my good Judy, Chris and I are starting a podcast. And we have already filmed 5 episodes. We're going to do our 6th one today of Love in Paradise, a 90-day story, season 2. And we know we're 6 episodes behind, but we're not in actuality. They're going to drop as soon as we can get and find an editor. So things are moving. We might have the episode out this week. We just made a jingle last night. So if y'all are interested in the audio version of that, it should be out. I'm just going to say early next week to be safe, because it takes the podcast people a few days to like review our podcast to see if we can actually have one. So we have to get an approval. And so if you're interested in that, we will be available on all streaming platforms that have podcasts. If you guys are a little bit more interested in that, we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/docusweeties. And that is where you'll see the video version and other little tasties of our content for the podcast. We might do Patreon only reviews on certain shows, certain docuseries. So we're running the gambit. We'll be doing something as trashy as 90 Day Fiancé, but we'll be doing something as like informative as Stay Sweet and Pray Below, or Obey and Pray. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be running the gambit. We might do The Staircase. We might do The Girl in the Picture. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of docu series out there. So there is that. All right, let's get into our first couple. Lila Berry's in the house. Hello. Erica's there. All right, so let's get into our first couple. And I'm just going to talk about them because they gave the least information and it's just like a lot of nonsense. So we've got these 2 fools, okay? And then we've got a really cute baby who needs his daddy. So the beginning parts of their segment is Ari basically telling us that her and Benny have been going through the motions of getting married, but they have been fighting so much that she honestly doesn't know if she will be getting married to him. They've, gone and rented the space in the synagogue. They have seen her wedding dress. She's really been going through the motions, but she's like, she just doesn't feel the support from Benny and doesn't know if their cultural differences will allow this relationship to work. And Benny's at home in their very first segment, and we see a foot. We see a foot that looks like it has seen many a days walking around barefoot. And I think that Mimi has come because the foot is pushing a pedal, which is linked to a sewing machine. So I think Mimi has flown in and is helping. And then we hear, Ari, I'm making a pansy for Abi before the wedding. And me and Ari, we fighting so many times, know if we're getting married. And like we say in Aramaic, something in Aramaic, it's like we are different like sky and earth. And I said, Benny knows how to sew? I mean, that skill in itself is worth my time. I was like, why have we not known this? I need for TLC to document all of Benny's skills, because knowing how to sew is kind of awesome. Truth be told, guys, it is kind of awesome. Now, did he make the pants from scratch or did he alter it? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. He knows what a bobbin is and he knows how to string it or whatever. He knows how to thread it. So like, you know what I'm saying? Props to Benny for that. And so then we have this cute scene where he is just like playing with Avi, and he's making Avi try on the pants. And, Avi's there with his dad having a good time. And then we see downstairs, Ari is walking up with a black shirt with a white print on it, some super high-waisted light blue jeans, and a god-awful ugly red purse. And listen, if one of you guys were out there and was like, oh, that purse is cute, then hey, you think it's cute. And I am not talking about you or your taste. I'm just saying that bad. About faux python red print that just does nothing for me. Thank you, Shan. Thank you for understanding me as a person. Thank you. I love it. I love the innuendo. I love it. So, oh my God, AK. I think I thought that purse was cute, but I can't remember now. Okay, so anyway, she gets in the house and she sees Benny with her baby and she melts. She says, you know what? At the end of the day, we did this. I did this for my family. And Avi would be so hurt and would lose out if he didn't have his father in his life. And I love my family. I love my family. And I want us to be together. And you make us happy. You make us happy, Benny. I want you in my life. I want you in Avi's life. And why don't we just say what it is? Why does she keep trying to say that? I know she loves Benny. I know she loves him, right? There's probably things that he's done. The fact that I would love any man who could flip me in the air, who could carry me and like flip me. I would love that person because that person would make me feel like an itty bitty lady. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's not my reality. So what I'm saying is that she is going to stay in this marriage, or at least she's going to marry Benny so that he could get his green card and stay here. And if choose not to stay together, at least she's hoping, I'm assuming, that he would stay near Avi so that Avi could always have his dad in his life. She says that Benny is a great dad. And that's all I needed to hear. Because I think at the end of the day, if your partner isn't down for you, which I know every woman wants, every person wants them and their partner to be down for each other. But the next best thing is for that partner to be really good with your kid. Because even if, I think it's got to be terrible, and I don't know this for a certain, I think it's got to be terrible as a parent to feel like the other person in the parentship is not responsible and that you don't feel comfortable having your child around that parent. And so the fact that she feels comfortable knowing that Avi could just go off with Benny and things would be okay, I think that is priceless. And so if she's like, this is the best option to keep our family together, or at least to keep the family ship, even if maybe Benny and I don't stay together forever, together, then I'm going to do it. And I say more power to her, because truthfully, the fairy tale is for the birds, honestly. It exists for some people, which is ab-fab. But it doesn't exist for most people. And I think the more we can normalize the fairy tale not being the standard, the happier a lot of people will be. All right. Mickey says, I would like to know how much time he actually spends with the child. I don't know. I'm just going to trust her. I'm going to trust that she is in love with the situation that's going on. I'm going to trust it. You know what I'm saying? I'll let it go. I'm going to trust. All right. So speaking of fairy tales, let's move on over to Bilal and Shaida, because Bilal said something in this episode today that made me agree with him, but also think, ooh, timing, buddy, timing. So he's in his office working, which it doesn't seem like he normally does. Like, I feel like that office is just for show. And she comes downstairs fully dressed and she's putting on shoes and she's like, oi, mate, let's go to the coffee shop. She doesn't say that. She says, Bilal, let's go to the coffee shop. I have some things I want to talk to you about. And then I don't want to talk to you here because the kids are here right now. So let's go. So he's like, oh, okay. No work for me. Make money later. Fine. And I said to myself, Bilal, you knew this scene was coming up. This was pre-planned, right? She honestly did not pull you away from your work. But why does your scripted reaction need to be rude? Do you get what I'm saying, you guys? There is no reason at all why he chose that was going to be the statement that he made. All he had to say, if he wanted to kind of say that she was interrupting his day, was being like, okay, just give me like a second, babe. Let me find a good place to stop. I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's get out of the house. I mean, there is just, even if that's how he felt, there is no reason for him to keep this thing of being such a jerk. Does anyone get it? I don't get it. It's like you have this opportunity to show yourself in a certain light, and this is what you choose, is to be the villain. Even when they say do a scripted one, he's like, well, no money. I guess I'll just go run to a little coffee shop because you want to have a talk. Okay. So they get to the coffee shop and she says, Bilal, I spoke to my lawyer who's very trusted, very admirable from Trinidad. And he says that the prenuptial is very one-sided, that there's nothing in there to protect me. So this is what I would like. I would like, because I gave up my whole entire life in Trinidad to be with you, that I would like you to agree on paper, as you've already agreed verbally, that you're going to front me the money to start my business here. And you're going to get me started and you're going to support. But if we divorce, the business comes with me, period, point blank. I don't care how much money you put into it, because I had to give up what I had to come here. And then he gets a little like, well, you see how that doesn't make any sense, because if I give you capital and I help you support it and then we divorce and you don't want to give me any of it, then like what, that doesn't seem fair to me. And she says, well, it seems fair to me because I gave up what I wanted. I gave up my life to come here and be with you. And you slapped me with this prenup, which dictates that basically I get nothing if we break up because I didn't help you build anything. But I didn't save up enough money to have my own capital in the States. And I need you to help me as my husband. And you just have to be willing to let that go if we get divorced. And here's the truth. I know a lot of people might be saying that's not fair and that doesn't make any sense. But the truth is that I think it's as fair as it's going to be, especially if the prenup does not have any preordained amount that he is owed in alimony afterwards, especially if the prenup doesn't have like, if my net worth is 3 million, I won't give her 1.5 million, but I'll give her $500,000. Like, he's not willing to give her, well, from what we're seeing on the show, that it feels like he is not willing to give her anything that he's created before her. And part of alimony and part of a lot of the prenup stuff is to save, so that, there's understanding of what is broken up and what is not broken up, or what is split and what's not split. But I mean, the fact is that he's trying to leave her with zero nada, because in his mind, if they get divorced, it'll be all on her. It'll be her choice to divorce because he's never going to divorce. But I feel like you're never going to divorce because you will always be the worst. You will be the reason why this person doesn't want to be with you. They're not going to possibly do anything to actually incur your wrath besides put things where they don't go and push pins in your cushions. But you are going to lecture them at every moment, as you did during this scene. She's starting to talk and he's like, I'm sorry, let me interrupt you for a second. So being in a relationship is a business, and that's what a marriage is. And so that's why I do the things that I do. And she's like, great, so you're just going to sign over the business to me if we get a divorce. And he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And she's like, well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense. You're still going to sign that business over to me. It's going to be my business. So if we get a divorce, anything pertaining to yoga, no matter how much money you put into it, or no matter how many blood, sweat, and tears or connection, will be mine. You will let me walk away with that, because everything that you've built, I won't be able to walk away with. So that way, at least the both of us who came into this relationship with businesses will be able to take our separate businesses plus whatever our joint ventures are together. But I get the yoga. You don't get to step in on my yoga. And I feel like that's fair. It may not be fair legally and monetarily wise. It may not seem equal because it's not, but he is putting her in an position by basically telling her that she needs to have a career here, because if she doesn't have a career here, if and when they divorce, she will walk away with nothing. At least that's what they're making it seem like. So I'm okay. I am okay with that. Oh, y'all. He's just like being stubborn now. The studio is mine regardless. And I said, She's like, when I came here, it was on faith, it was on love, it was on a storybook Cinderella romance. And he's like, let me stop you. That doesn't exist. We have to be practical. We have to think with our brains. And I agree with him to a certain point. Like the fairy tale nonsense is nonsense to me because it hasn't been my experience. I'm too late in the game. I'm too seasoned to think of the fairy tale. Like I think of the practical side of it. Yes, love is love for sure. But there's also a practical side that you have to walk in with, and you have to be willing to give some stuff up because you're merging. This is a merger, you guys. It's mergers and acquisitions. Okay, so let's move on to something a little bit more anxiety inducing, but it falls along the lines, I feel, of how Bilal is entering into this relationship. And we're going to introduce Kobe, Emily, and temperature. All right. So in this episode, we have a Cameroonian prince, royalty of the chiefdom. Okay? Kobe. So Kobe gets this opportunity to meet a good friend of his. But before he does that, he goes suit shopping with Emily and Emily's dad. And Emily is quite shocked to find out that his friend Temperature has come to hang out with him 3 days before the wedding. Which shocks me because I feel like most family and friends fly in days before the wedding. So this is an opportunity for him to see a friend who lives over in Ohio, not too far away, who's going to come to the wedding. And he wants to like talk to his friend. And Emily's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go home and do all the wedding stuff by myself. And he's like, okay, babe, that sounds like a great idea. Bye. And I was here for it. Okay. Then Kobe meets with Temperature and he says, my Cameroonian brother, I'm so happy to see you. I have not had any culture in months. And thank you so much for coming. And he unloads on Temperature. He tells Temperature everything that's going on with Emily, the fact that they have a baby on the way and that the family doesn't know, and that Emily can be controlling. And I forgot to say the most important thing that happened in this episode, the very first scene. We see Kobe trying to play with that baby, and Emily be like, Kobe, let him be. Leave him alone. The producers really want us to be mad at Emily in this baby situation because they keep on showing every single moment of Emily stopping Kobe from loving his son. Doesn't it feel that way? At this point, I have to feel like the producers are up to no good. I just feel it. I feel like they just want us to hate her. And I'm not saying that she's not doing all these things, but what is Patrick doing things that'll make us hate him? You know what I'm saying? Like, is Kobe not doing anything to where they can show so that we can feel like he's just as bad? Yeah. Wow. So Kobe ends up telling his friend, Temperature, which we don't know how he got that name, that Emily would make a good wife, but she is controlling and she wants to run everything. And then he says, oh, that's how it is in America. In America, these women are in control and they're in charge of the house and the men are not. And I said to myself, this is a bold-faced notch truth. Every single time they try to say that American women are this and that and African women are not, I know so many African women who run their own household and who are strong and who have equal say and footing in their house, whether they be in the States or not in the States. I know American women who are not head of their household. I know American women who just let their men's do whatever. And it's just so crazy to say that the reason why Emily is the rude asshole that she is because she's American. No. Emily is just a bulldozer. She is just rude. That is who she is to everyone. This is not an American thing. Because as I've said to you before, I will gladly move over and allow somebody to take the wheel. But I have to know that that person is worthy to take the wheel before I do so. So my rule of thumb is just because you refer to yourself as a man, and or if I'm not, if I want to be more PC, not more PC, but if I want to, not say that manhood is connected to a penis, if you are somebody who considers yourself a man, and then you get in front of me and do things that are not dominant or that are not strong, and you're not somebody that I would want to lead me, then you will not lead me. Okay? Okay? You will not lead me until I've deemed you ready, able to lead, until I trust you. So Emily, though, I feel she would be the way she is to any man, regardless. She is just a dominant person. So she needs a submissive man, which I don't think there's anything wrong with being submissive at all. I am not judging any of those two roles, but not every relationship is that way. And if Kobe wants to be considered the man of the house and wants to do the things that he, unfortunately right now, is in an imposition. He doesn't know about the States. He doesn't understand the culture. He can't drive. He can't work. He has little to no skill on the back end to seemingly get job or get work or whatever. So like, it is what it is. So anywho, I didn't like that. And then he starts on this whole thing. Chris is here, you guys. She might come in. Then he starts on this whole, the conversation with temperature to me is inappropriate. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary in the setting in which he tried to have it in. And I didn't like the fact that Kobe sat back and let him say the things that he said. And this is not me being on Emily's side whatsoever. I thought the environment was wrong. And I thought that the way that they keep explaining it as an American woman thing versus an African woman thing versus an American man thing versus an African man thing. I think there are weak men all over this world thinking that they need to be in charge simply because they are a man. Simply because they own an Audi instead of an innie. You get what I'm saying? So you can miss me with all that. So then they are in some kind of family situation where Temperature and Kobe and all of Emily's family is there, and they're eating a meal. And Emily orders for Kobe. She's like, "You like the lasagna, babe, right?" And Temperature has to say something like, "Oh, so you're gonna order for him too?" And she's like, "What? That's what he likes." I'm like, Kobe, if you wanted something different, you need to look at the menu and order. Then she says something to him like, "I might freak out on you right now." And that to me is, again, Emily, there's no reason for you to constantly tell your partner how you're going to freak out on them if they do something you don't like. It's inappropriate. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Baba BB Blanket. Hi, welcome to the room. And so the mother's reaction is to take a step back and be like, who is this man Temperature? And the sister steps up and says something too, which I'm glad. I'm glad the mother and the sister stepped up to say something. Here's the truth. I think what's happening is that energetically, and I'm gonna use a word that Chris uses, energetically, Emily is like her father. I think that her father is a dominant male. I think that his wife is a submissive. I think she has her seat at the table, but she's gonna go with what her husband says. And I think her sister energetically is the same as the mother. And I think Emily just is energetically the same as her father, which there is nothing wrong with that. But I really feel that she would just find a submissive man instead of us seeing her be rude. Because honestly, if Emily were a man, Kobe were the female, we would hate Emily or Emilio the same way we don't like Emily. There's that. So then the sister says, so then Temperature tells the family that Kobe's from a royal family, y'all. And then Kobe sits back and then they're like, "Really, Kobe?" And he's like, no, my dad is from the family. My dad is a chief's son. And I'm allowed to live my own line. I'm not in the line to rule the kingdom. So then Emily says, "Okay, so you have no money and you have no kingdom. So what is it that you have?" And again, Emily, why must you put this man down at every turn? At every opportunity, why must you put this man down? We don't understand it. We don't understand it. It's rude. So that is the end of their segment. Let's move on to Patrick and Thais. This one was a little bit of a sad one this episode. So with this one, they're in the kitchen talking about whether or not she's going to tell her dad, and she agrees to tell her dad. And so they both get on FaceTime to do so. And when they tell the dad, his response is, already? And Patrick immediately recognizes the situation. He was not expecting that at all. So he excuses himself, and Thais and her father have a whole conversation about it. And he says American men just want to use Brazilian women. He may have wined and dined you while he was here, but he's going to be different once you get there. How dare you have the audacity to not tell me that you were going there to get married, and now you're telling me right now that you're going to get married? Girl, get on the plane and come home. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, get on the plane and come home. This person is not for you. Okay, you have a life here in Brazil. You have a family here in Brazil. You are not going to go and move to the US and marry this man. I do not like him. No. And so John and Patrick are in the garage talking about it. And they're like, what's the worst that could happen? You know, at least you're telling him now. He might be thinking, hey, this guy's an asshole, but you're not. You know, that needs to be said. And he's like, yeah, he's really worried because he was not expecting it. And let me tell you guys, their segments would not be half as interesting if it wasn't for John. John is one of the best supplementary characters in this franchise so far. Am I right? I mean, I'm sure there's others, but we haven't had a good supplementary, like Debbie tried to be the good supplementary character. I mean, she ended up getting her own show and a part of it. And yeah, Debbie was good. Colton Debbie was good. Who else was good? Janice is pretty good. She's not as good as John. Janice, Ari's mom, pretty good. I'm trying to think who else is. If you guys can think of other supplementary characters that we really enjoyed from the 90 Day franchise, please let us know. But John is really doing it. He's doing it for all. He is doing it for all. Yeah, he's really great. R&B Dove. Yep. He's really great. So Thais then calls Patrick in and says to Patrick that her father does not want them to get married and wants her to come home, and that she doesn't know what to do because she really, truly does miss home. And she doesn't say this to Patrick, but she says it to the confessional that, her dad is kind of true and she's never gone against him. And the truth is that Patrick is a different person. He's more controlling in the US than he was in Brazil. And so she doesn't know what to do. And next episode, it kind of seems like the girl packs her bags and leaves. Now, we all know with this K1 visa, she cannot go back and forth for a while. So my question is she giving up on the visa? Is the money that he paid for that visa and everything that he's done for her thus far just down the drain until she goes home and figures out what she wants to do? And then what, she'll come back on another type of visa? I don't know, girl. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Jovi's mom. Yeah, Jovi's mom. Yeah. That was good. Jovi's mother, that's a good one. She's great. She's great. Who are you guys? Interpreter with Hamza and Yazan and Brittany. For whatever reason, I don't truly remember the end of that segment. I don't know what happened with Yazan and Brittany. I know he has another baby now. Ooh, Tariq's brother. Yeah, he was good. He got on my nerves because I didn't like the way how mean he was to Hazel. But he got himself a whole Filipino wife and a half Filipino baby too. So she's crying. He's looking at her, and he doesn't know what to feel. He doesn't know if he should be angry, but he says that he's never seen her. Now he's stuck on her tears. And so he, at this point, wants to support her in whichever way he can, but his heart is breaking because he really wants her to stay with him. And he never imagined that he would not be with her. And I think that sucks for him. It really does suck for him. And it sucks for her too. But he's having a hard time communicating with her. And she feels alone and she feels isolated. And if I were her and I had an out, I would take that out, especially if I wasn't so hell-bent to come to the US. And she's not. She's not as hell-bent to come to the US and make a life for her family the way other people are. And so I can only respect it. She doesn't have to stay here. It's really hard, guys. It's really sad.
That is so sad that she's so alone. But well, You'll never know what it's like to be so isolated and alone because I will always be right here. Is it cold? It is. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Now, as you guys might know, I haven't watched this episode, so I can't stay, and I don't mean to derail, but she's at my house, so, hi. Yeah. I love you guys so much. Did you guys tell them about our hottest track we dropped on Patreon?
I didn't. I told them there were things on Patreon, and if they wanted to join patreon.com/docusweeties, they could. Mm-hmm. But I didn't tell them exactly what was on there yet.
Okay, so 2 things. We're going to go live on Patreon for Patreon only. And we're going to talk about Love in Paradise and like a little like stuff about that. So that's going to be, I'm hoping later on today or tonight. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing if you're into that. And if you want to go right now, you will get to be amongst the first people in the world to hear the track Wah and I dropped late last night as our theme song for our podcast. Now, if you think we didn't give you vocals, layered upon vocals, you don't know us. Nice to meet you. My name is Chris. This is Wah. Hi.
Hi.
So anyway, I love you guys so much. I'm just going to get back to it. Thank you so much. I actually am going to go have a little phone sesh myself.
Okay. Bye. All right. Bye. All right, you guys. So yes, if you would like to join our Patreon, it is $10 a month. It is a fee. We are going to be providing lots of content on there. And right now there's 3 posts up there, 2 like content-wise items. So there's that. I'm having a moment where I want to react to something that has upset me in the comment section. And then I'm thinking, why did that upset me? I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to acknowledge it because if you watch my channel, you already know what's going on. And so this person is new, and this person, I mean, I've never seen this person's name before, and they're just like yelling at me, telling me to do things. Okay, so what time is it? What time is it live? I'm in the UK. Aaliyah, we don't know yet. I don't know if you know Chris and I, but we don't know. We don't know. But I will, where should I make the announcement? You're 8 hours ahead of us. Damn, it's going to be late. It's going to be late, girl. It's going to be late. I appreciate you. But if you do sign up for Patreon, you can see it at any time. The live won't disappear. All right. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. All righty. So, Zelle, I'm not going to say it because, you know. Let's see. Even Muhammad. Should we move on to Even Muhammad? We did Bilal. We did Patrick and Thais. There's really nothing else for Patrick and Thais. And we did Ari and Benny, which I took not a note for. Oh, we have Jabri and Miona, and we still have Eve and Muhammad. Let's move on to Even Muhammad. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Aaliyah. Okay, so let's move on to Even Muhammad. Let's talk about these 2 fools. Because at this point, I mean, Muhammad is so blatantly honest about how he feels. And I think that Eve is not taking advantage of the situation, truthfully. Don't we feel that way? I mean, it's like telling you how he feels he's going to do and how he's going to do it. And you are making a choice to just ignore it, which is really confusing to all of us. It's really confusing to all of us. Oh yeah, I already did R&B Dub. We already talked about him. Okay, so we start this with, hi Muhammad, I'm just hoping like we can have a better day today than we did yesterday. And he's like, I hope so. He doesn't say, yeah, babe, I know yesterday was really hard. It was hard for me, and I'm sorry for the way it is, and we just need to, like, work it. No, he says, I hope so. So then she hugs him, and then she's like, hug, right? And then she's like, she pulls away, and she still has 2 of his fingers in her hand. And the cameraman makes sure to zone in on the fact that he's not holding her hand. He is just allowing her to grasp the pinky and the ring finger. Just allowing her to grasp those 2 fingers. You know what I'm saying? Just so telling, right? Just so telling. So telling. And so she goes to work. First of all, I hate that Muhammad's hair is bad majority of the time. Why is his hair bad? Why is his hair this bad all the time? He does nothing. What is he doing? Anyways, so her homegirl Tatiana comes to her place of business and they do cupping, and she tells her about the situation, about Muhammad being mad about the wedding and wanting to get married and it holding him back, and how he wants a new sponsor. So Tatiana gets upset. And Tatiana's like, well, you have to use the full 90 days to figure out if he's going to be a jerk or not. I don't like the way he's being. Eve tells us that she doesn't get along with her family that well. And so the family that she has curated is her family. And the fact is that she wants Muhammad and her friends to get along. And then they give us a flashback of her friends and Muhammad. And we go, Eve, you didn't stand up for him when they were being so inappropriate with him. Asking him if he watches porn. Asking him how did he know what to do? Asking him if the fact that they had their tetas out bothers him. It's really crazy. Like, it's really crazy. Oh, I mean, BoJack Horseman, I like that. What is it? In BoJack Horseman, a character said, when you were wearing rose-colored glasses, all the red flags are just flags. She needs those glasses off. Exactly. Like, it is just crazy to me that she doesn't think that they did anything wrong. And now she wants him to figure it out, to be happy or okay or something. Like, no. They were completely wrong. I mean, he's wrong, but they were completely wrong in that moment. So then he says, when she suggests that they get with her friends again, I don't feel comfortable around them. Why are you asking me to be around them? And then she says, I'm asking you to do it for me. I want you to be open to it. And he's like, oh, I am open, that I don't like them. And I said, you know what? He's right. He's open that he doesn't like them. And personally, for me, if I've met your friends and they made a show of themselves, I don't know that I would give them a second chance to get on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? Because I already suffered and endured the first time. And you sat back and said nothing. You sat back and let them do the things that they did. So now I know that I cannot trust you when we are around them, because you will not protect me. So no, I don't want to be with them again. Because if they say something crazy and you sit back and not say anything, then that's going to be the last straw for me. It's going to be the last straw for me. AK says, it was ridiculous. Everyone loses their virginity at some point. Like, what the hell? Why would Eve even entertain the conversation existing? That's what I'm saying. She did not protect him. She did not stop them. And now he wants her to go back into that. She wants him to go back into that while she could just sit back and ping pong, look back and forth. No, thank you. No, thank you. So then they come to the house and they're deciding that they're going to write their intentions down, or negative energy into sticks and then burn them. And so he says that this basically goes against his religion and he does not agree in her spirituality. And like, why would she choose to burn negative intentions as opposed to just praying to God? And then this is where he lost me again, because I think it's weird when people are weird about everyone's spirituality. Like, why wouldn't you just pray to God? Well, because Muhammad, writing something down on a piece of paper and burning it is more of a symbol than getting on your knees and just praying out loud. For her, it's a symbol. It feels like the negativity is being burnt away. Can you not understand that? Is it so foreign to you that you're going to talk about it like it's mojo hocus pocus and it means nothing? I mean, for me personally, it's all the same. It's all the same to me. If you believe it, then that's fine and that's great and that's your faith and I'm going to respect it. If it helps you get through the day, I'm going to do it because I'm going to do what I need to do to get through the day too. And if you want to burn paper and put in negative intentions out, quarterly or every new moon or whatever, then I support you. If you want to go to church on Sunday and take in the body of Christ and his blood, I support you. It's all the same to me. So I don't like it when people like think that their religion is better than anybody else's religion. It's not. It's not. So then Tatiana says, I was worried for a second, Muhammad, because I thought you didn't like us. And he goes, yeah, that's right. And she's like, what? And he's like, I don't like you. You were so judging to me when we first met, and I don't like that. And then they all sit around and like mansplain to him. Well, you have to understand that what we were trying to do was look out for our friend. And I said to myself, Wahima, if I ever wanted to look out for my friends, would I then ask their partner if their partner is a virgin, if they watch porn? How do they know how to have sex? No, I wouldn't do that. That has nothing to do with anything. No one is there to personally insult him, is what they say. Oh no, they were there to personally insult him because they're borderline Islamophobes. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. They're borderline Islamophobes, and they wanted to know about his sex and about all the things that he might expect of her, which again is none of their business because Eve chose to go to Egypt, starts with an E, got it mixed up. Eve chose to go to Egypt and get with a 25-year-old virgin who misses his mama. That's what she chose to do as a grown-ass 47-year-old woman. So we can all just be really grateful that Muhammad is being as honest as he is. Don't we love a Muhammad on this show? Muhammad and Danielle, Muhammad and Eve. We love a Muhammad. Okay, let's move on to our last couple. And that is going to be, where are they? Jabri and Miona, everyone. Wherein Jabri acts like a petulant child. So there's some backstory that we have not been made aware of. Jabri's parents have said that Jabri could live with them until the end of the year. Okay, that means January 1st. Sorry, that means January 1st, December 31st. And it looks like, I don't know what time of year it is right now, but it looks like it might be November. And the parents want to sit back and have a conversation with Jabri about what his plans are. And he finds offense to that because he feels like they shouldn't even be bringing it up. And they're like, no. We know you, Jabri. And we know that we have had a conversation with you a few months ago about how this was going to go down with you and Miona. And now we're halfway through or a quarter or, 3/4 of the way through the timeline in which you and I talked about. And we want to know what's happening next. So when are you getting married? We don't know. Okay, so when are you moving out? Oh, we don't know. Are you kicking us out? No, we're not kicking you out. But remember, we had a conversation a few months ago about you leaving at the end of the year. And the end of the year is approaching. And so we want to know what your plans are. Are your plans the 25th? You're going to move out on Jesus's birthday? Or are you going to move out in the middle of January? Like, when are you moving out? Let's reset the boundaries. Let's have this conversation. And he's like, I feel like you're trying to leave, and I feel like you don't, you are mad at us, and they're like, no. The time, we need to know the timeline because we know if we don't talk to you about it, that it'll be February 28th, and you and Miona will still be here running up our electricity, just using this heat, not shoveling snow. We know you. We know you, Jabri. If we don't have this conversation now and set up when you're supposed to leave, you will never leave, or you'll leave when it's important for you or beneficial for you. So in my mind, they were giving him the opportunity to say, okay, maybe not January 1st, maybe February 1st, so that they can then put up another boundary. And then they're like, okay, well, Jabri, like, when are you going to make these decisions? And he's like, well, I mean, maybe you could help us make the decisions. And Brian's like, you're a grown man. You are a grown-ass 28-year-old man. You need to make those decisions on your own, okay? And he's like, I feel like I'm 15 again. And, and Brian's like, you act like you're 15 again. And Miona's sitting there, and she feels bad for Jabri. But at the same time, she's happy because she's like, I don't want to live here. And Jabri is going to have me living here for the rest of my life. So if his parents did not kick him out, we would still be here. But they're putting a fire under his butt to make sure that he leaves. And this makes me very happy, but I do feel so bad for him because I'm just sitting there not saying nothing because the truth is I'm like, kick me out. I'd like to go. I'd like to go. Then they had the whole conversation about the ceremony and why aren't you coming to the wedding? And they're like, listen, you needed to plan it. And here's the truth. I get them. And I hate to say it because I don't want to seem like I'm like Mahalia and whatever is Brian, because the internet dislikes these two people and I love them. The truth is that I'm an organized person. I love a timeline. I need deadlines. I need those things in my life to feel organized. And there are other people who don't need that, who don't want that, who don't feel it. It just puts pressure on them. And that's Jabri. He wants the opportunity. He wants the fluidity to be able to just like have time and situations change. I don't want fluidity. I want a rock hard plan with a little bit of fluidity. There are times for fluidity, like weekends and vacations. But other than that, everything should be on schedule. That's just me. So Miona is like excited. So then they're just like, okay, whatever you need to do, just let us know. End of the year, though. And he's like, no, we'll go now. We'll leave right now. We're packing right now. Sorry, we're not going to stay here anymore. And Mahala's like, okay, Jabri, you're making an impulsive decision. It doesn't need to be that. No, you've already said enough. We're leaving now. Jabri, you don't need to leave now, but you do need to leave in 4 weeks. So you can have time to plan out where you're going to go. No, we're leaving. We're leaving. And then I'm just like, oh, it's so funny. I wrote down, I can get warm and the fire is nice. Oh no, that's what I wrote in the wrong space. That's what Muhammad likes about the fire, that it's warm. That's all he likes. He doesn't like anything else about it. Well, that's all I wrote about then. The rest of it I accidentally wrote about Eve and Muhammad. Eve and Muhammad, let me just say the last thing that they said. Eve says it's weird for me, and it makes me wonder if the connection is worth us getting married. And the answer is no, Eve, you and Muhammad don't have a connection. And whatever connection you do have, it is 100% not worth you getting married. Great. Now that we've all got that out of our systems, we can move on and be happy. Can we not? Can we not? Okay. Teresa says they're spending too much time in their matching outfits. I can only guess saving for a wedding or moving out was at the bottom of their priorities. Teresa, you sound like a parent. That's such a parent statement to say. Well, you spend so much time matching outfits that that's why you're not moving out. It's like, what does matching outfits and moving out have to do with each other? Like, does it ever something I heard as a kid? Well, the reason why you can't do this is because you spent all night painting your toenails. It's like, what does painting my toenails for 30 minutes have to do with me not washing the dishes? Those two things have nothing to do with each other. I didn't not wash the dishes because I was painting my toenails. I not washed the dishes because I did not want to. It's so funny. I actually like Jabri Miona drama. It's not too serious. I agree. I think that's nice. Eve, once again, there was no getting past the fight. Why did you let that go? He's childish to a T. He's just yeah, he is. He's crazy. LOL, why did you say rock hard like that? You know what? It's because I started saying it and then I realized that like it can mean so many things. Not so many things. It can mean one other specific thing. And then I was like, rock hard. Oh, did I say rock hard? Rock hard plan, got it. Yeah, I just like realized that it might come off as like different. Teresa said money. Okay, Martita says, the venue Eve chose, is that an Airbnb? It's like a neighborhood and the kitchen was regular kitchen and not like a banquet hall at all. I don't know. I remember Chris saying that she hated the venue. I mean, I'm really bad at wedding stuff, so to me it doesn't matter. I think he wanted to say something like set in stone, LOL. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I was just trying and I made the wrong choice of turn of phrase. You know, it was the wrong turn of phrase. It was the wrong turn of phrase. He sold his pants, sell Miona's scanty outfits on the net. Yeah, these two are going to make money. I'm pretty sure that they are making money. It's just that, you know. Yep, it came across different, LOL. All right, you guys. So that is the end of this episode. I want to thank you so much for rocking with me. There are 288 people. Before you guys start to bounce out, can you please give this video a thumbs up? Please. Becky says it was a strange venue. All right, so if you guys are at all interested in that extra content, that DocuSweeties content, you can go on ahead and follow our Patreon, or you could just patiently wait for our episodes to drop. Again, we're working with an editor, and that editor is going to provide us an example of our episode 1 today so that we can review it. And then if we go forward with that editor, we'll get them to do other stuff for us, and then we'll get those episodes out on wherever podcasts are listened to. So you're welcome, Ramsterdam. Bye, guys. You're welcome, Renee. Thank you. Veronica says, why do I feel like I got the impression he planned on staying here for like a year when talking to Miona about his earlier in the season? Yeah, I think he was too. Because the way he was talking about saving money was like however long he was going to stay there was going to really do him a solid. And I mean, it just depends on how much money he was able to save in 3 months. I just don't know. Bummer, I came in late. I'll be on replay. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate it. Bye, R&B Dove, R&B Dove, R&B Dove. Thank you guys so much. All right, you guys have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.